Everybody, Mike here. I'm going to show you a few deck profiles of decks that I've been running in this format, and going to regionals, quite a few regionals with. The first regionals I've won to this format was in Niles, in which I ran plants. I won 6-3 there. I then went over to the Minnesota regionals and also ran plants, and I went 5-2-1. This is a little bit depressing because I got 33rd, so I just missed the cut. All this taught me was that I was good enough. Like, I knew I could get my invite, but I didn't think Plants was the deck that was going to give me the invite. So then I went to the Iowa regionals, and I decided to run Beast Stun there, in which this was the deck list I used. The things to note: the triple Horntail Beast. A lot of people argue that this could be very cloggy, but I thought it was okay to run due to the fact that I ran an abundance of Beasts and Beast Warriors, unlike a typical TG deck. I also ran Tengu, Photon Saber Tiger, one Barbaros. The only non-Beast or Beast Warriors was a Striker and Double Thunder King, which were just the Thunder Kings are just too good for the against the meta at the moment. I only made 2 Skill Drain. I cited the third one because it wasn't really good against hero matchups and Dark World matchup, which they were there in abundance. Like, I pretty much cited that Skill Drain almost every game because I played at least 2 hero decks and at least 2 Dark World decks. It was really aggravating, actually. Because I went in and I lost my first matchup against heroes, and then I played Dark Worlds right after that, and I beat them, but it was really hard, and I continued to play Dark Worlds and heroes, and it was very difficult. Honestly, this was not the right deck to play at that regionals, but I ended up pushing through it and making 24th, and I got my invite there with this deck. I did not main the MCs, instead I mained Lance. Game 1, Lance was a lot more effective because it stopped the G prisons and it stopped the bottomlesses, which really harmed my floaters. It was just a lot more versatile too at that. I sided the MSTs, I pretty much sided those in every game 2 and 3 because my opponent might side in Rotokree and I wasn't willing to risk that. So it was very useful. Cyber Dragons were good because they're good against the Yugioh matchup, and they're good against heroes. They're not only good against Yugioh matchup because of contacting, but it was able to attack over the Yugioh armor, which is really aggravating card. It's hard to attack over, even though this deck has a lot of abilities, a lot to attack over them. It is just very frustrating, and it's part of the reason that deck is so good. I didn't put the extract together, but I did want to point out that TG Wonder Magician was probably one of the MVPs of the deck. Popping back row and being able to come 12 A's with him and Werewolf was really useful, and also her and the Saber Tigers was pretty good too. Also, a lot of the times I would use it to go and I'd pop a back row, and then I would attack with it, and then they would respond with like a Deepers or something because they want to prevent my draw. And I would chain the TGM1, and that was a really good play that got me like a +2. And then I just attack with my TG and draw and search. So that was a really strong play. Other things to note: the one Soul Taker, that was a good card because it was very versatile. After I made my extra side deck, I only had 1 extra slot, and I had to think about what I wanted to put in there, and Soul Taker just seemed like a very versatile card that would help me against a lot of decks, like Heroes and Cash Dragons. So I decided to put that in as my last card, and I did side it in quite often. The deck that I plan to run at the upcoming regionals in Countryside, Illinois, by Chicago, is this deck. It's a Grandsoil Turbo deck. I guess it's similar to Jeff Jones' build, except I run back row in it, and I think back row is really effective in this. I also run card Ds to increase the draw power, increasing my ability to draw into Grandsoils and my floaters a lot better. A lot of people think that Trigodi conflicts with access to a lot of back row. Card Ds prevent this also. I know how to control back row and not just set it all at once. I can play smart and avoid that. Other interesting text in the deck is the Swift Scarecrow. Currently, I'm playtesting the Swift Scarecrows in it. I will be giving a deck profile after it if I top, and you'll see then if I actually end up running them or not. But the Swift Scarecrows work really well at putting Ursa in the grave for Grandsoil, It allows me to card D without fearing being killed. Similar to how Dragodian Gores works, it just plays a similar role as the Dragodia does. Cards I've considered putting in the deck, Fossil Dino. It's a good Earth card, stun. I might side them. I've considered putting clock cards in Uranite with Tour Guides, since it is an Earth tuner that I can search out real effectively, and it works with Tour Guide, which is really cool. Miracle Synchro Fusion I've considered, but I actually don't go into Psychic Synchros very much. I only do run the 2 tuners, and I pretty much just use them to go into Beast and Barkion most of the time. Psychic Overload, something I've considered. I do commonly throw all my Psychics in the grave real quick. I don't like it because it could the potential dead draw, and I really try to avoid having cards in my deck not be effective in every scenario. So I decided against that. So yeah, that's basically this deck profile. If you have any questions, comments, or criticism, I'd love to hear it. I will be running this at the upcoming Countryside Regional, and if you're going to be there, say hi to me. I'm planning to be on the top table, so hopefully I'll see everybody there. All right, goodbye.